Welcome back to the Budgeting Bogan. Today's podcast is going to be about delivery side hustles, Doordash, Ubereats, whatever platform you are on. Please keep in mind I am not a lawyer, I am not an accountant. This is just stuff that I've personally learned over the last 6 years of doing Doordash, Ubereats as a side hustle. I started back in 2020 because I moved down to Ipswich. I was meant to have a job, but COVID hit. I had to find a way to make money. I will try to post links in the bio if I'm able to. I don't know if I'm able to. I've never done that before because this is my second podcast. But I will write down in the brief on what to look for. Excuse me, sorry. So, let's get started. So you've decided to become a DoorDasher, Uber Eats driver, whatever. Do not ask me about Diddy or actual Uber driving. I don't do people. People are assholes. And I work in fast food, go figure. Right, so if you've decided to do Uber Eats, DoorDash, and you're on Centrelink, there's 2 things that you need to do. Well, 3 really. 1, you don't report it as an income. So unlike a job where you do, like, you put in your hours and how much you earn, you don't do that. You go onto this Centrelink website and you fill out a Mod F form. I personally go to Centrelink, would have went to Centrelink, printed it off and taken it home, uploaded it. Then every quarter you print off and fill in a profit and loss statement form, an SU580. Again, go to Centrelink, use their printers, print off half a dozen copies because you do make mistakes and it saves you having to go back every quarter to get more. So that's how, and then you give them a call once you've uploaded your profit and loss statement, saying, hey, I've uploaded my profits and loss statement for this quarter. Can you process it, please? Then they deal with it on their end. Another thing that you need to do is set up a profit and loss statement. Now, I personally just Googled profit and loss template and went to business.gov.au and stole their template. And then altered it to my needs, my wants. Now, they also brought out, I think it was last year or the year before last, that they were going to start investigating students that are in Australia on student visas because they're not meant to work more than 20 hours a week. So me doing Diploma of Financial Counselling and my financial literacy certificate and being nosy, rang the ATO up and asked them, how the hell are they going to do this? How are they going to make it sure that students are only doing 20 hours on Uber Eats, DoorDash when it can be up and down? So the way the guy from the ATO explained it to me is they take the minimum wage of a delivery driver, which is around at the moment, from good old friend Google, around $33.94 an hour. They'll times that by 20 hours. So an Uber Eats driver, delivery driver, side hustle, anybody on a student that's working under an ABN, they can't earn more than $678.80 for a fortnight. Which means if they've been here for the whole year, they can't earn any more than $17,648.80. And I'm like, oh, is that after expenses? He's like, no. He said it in a nicer way than this. The government doesn't give a fuck how much you spend on your business, how much you're out of pocket. So, for instance, if you earned 17K, you spent 7K of that on expenses for your car and all the rest of it to get up and running, Tough shit. You still can't earn more than the $17,648.80. So for those that are on student visas, just keep in mind, I did ask them, is it just potluck? He goes, sometimes it's potluck. They'll just pick a random person that's on a student visa. Sometimes it's because they've pissed somebody off. He said it nicer, but basically because that particular person's pissed somebody off and they've dobbed them into the ATO saying, hey, this person is doing more than 20 hours. You might want to investigate. I'm guessing the ATO will probably give you a little bit of leeway on your earnings. I don't think it'll be much, probably a couple of hundred at most. So yeah, I would play it very careful if you're on a student visa. Now, when it comes to deductions, you have to keep your receipts for everything. And I mean absolutely everything. Now, they say 5 to 7 years. I recommend at least 10. Even my accountant recommended at least 10 before you destroy anything. Keep receipts for everything. Fuel, rego, insurance. Put all this in your profits and loss statement. Your phone bill, your internet because you do paperwork at home. Phone holders, chargers, tyres, anything pretty much to do with the car, you put it in your profit and loss statement. Another thing is glasses. I wear prescription glasses because if I don't have them, I can't drive, I can't run the business, so they're tax deductible. I do believe normal sunglasses are tax deductible, but the cheap ones that you get that are just magnifying glasses, they're not tax deductible. Torches, get yourself a good torch, one that goes in and out. That's so wrong hand gesture, but one that expands as well as pinpoints to help find those mailboxes. I wish everybody would have numbers on it, and the new mailboxes that are silver with the silver numbers on it, they're shit in my opinion. If you have a car loan for purchasing your car, bank fees, put that on there. The interest for your car loan, you can claim a percentage, which I'll get to percentages and all the rest of it in a wee bit. You can claim interest, but not the repayments. So if you're repaying like $550 a month, but your interest repayments are, say for instance, $180 a month, you put that $880. Obviously it's always changing with how much as your loan comes down. Rain gear, so ponchos, umbrellas, tax deductible. I'm not sure about gumboots. Stationery, I'm lazy. I have a manual logbook at the moment, and then I spend like 3 or 4 days uploading it onto the ATO app, which I'll get to in a minute. And also I have Sharpies so that when I go to shop and delivers, if I'm given like 2 or 3 orders, I can write on the bags A, B, C. Hot cells. Invest in I cannot stress this enough, guys. Invest in a hot cell. As somebody who works in fast food, there's nothing that pisses me off more than somebody walking in with a Coles or Woolies bag. Yeah, that they can cost $40 or $50, but it's a tax deduction. And trust me, you want those tax deductions. Not only that, it keeps the food way better than those stupid Coles or Woolies bags. Those Coles and Woolies bags are only made to go short distances, not long distances. So if you're doing a 15-minute delivery from the place that you picked up, chances are those Coles and Woolies bags are doing jack shit to keep that food fresh. And actually use them. I don't know how many deliveries I've gotten personally and the food's just been sitting on the passenger's lap or it's been sitting on the front seat. I don't give a shit that you've got you may have a seat warmer. I don't give a shit. Put my food in a hot cell, please. Like I got mine from Menulog and it's bloody awesome. The thick ones are bloody awesome. You can get from, put like 4 of those little bricks in, the ice bricks, get from Ipswich to Rocky and back and still have nice cold drinks waiting for you when you get back. Now when it comes to recording your odometer reading, I recommend the ATO app. Start the odometer, write down the odometer reading before you leave home and finish it when you leave home. I turn my app on at home, so I start from home. Recommend everybody do this. Now with the ATO app to track it, you go into the app, you go to more, go to my deductions, add new, you start the logbook, record a new logbook, and then once the logbook is set up, you just go into the app and go to more, deductions, add new, add trip, and then go add odometer trip. And I cannot stress this enough, back up after every entry, because if the ATO app crashes, that's all your data gone and you have to re-enter every single entry again. Or if you get up, you've made an entry, you get up, you go make yourself a coffee and come back and it's timed out, you have to start again. It's a pain in the ass, trust me. It sucks to have to start again. I think one time I entered like 2 months worth of data and I had to duck up to the shops for something for one of the kids. And I came back and I forgot to save. So the whole 2 months I had to go back in and re-enter the whole lot. Lesson learned, never done it again. But I am one of those people that are lazy and I've got a notebook in my car that I've got to re-enter. I've got to put entries in my logbook on the ATO app for the whole financial year still. Then once you close your financial year, it'll tell your logbook at the end of financial year, it'll tell you the percentage that you use your vehicle for business. So you don't have to do any of the math. It actually tells you when you close off the logbook. You make a note of that and you put it on your profits and loss spreadsheet. You print it out and you give it to your accountant, and when he goes, oh, how'd you come up with that percentage? You just say ATO logbook. It said it on the app. And they'll go, oh, okay. So if ATO said that's what it is, that's what it is. Is it worth doing Doordash Ubereats? In my personal opinion, unless you've got a hybrid car, a fully electric car, or like in my case, a small 4-cylinder car, no way. Anything bigger, you're wasting your time. The car is going to cost you way too much. Is it worth getting a new car doing this? For the tax purposes, yes. I got my car in 2021 and I think at that stage my driving was like 41%. So 41% of the initial purchase of the car was an instant asset write-off, which is great for tax purposes. If you want to make like a decentish amount of money, like over $300 a week, you may as well kiss your weekends, your social life, goodbye. See you later, don't have a social life. Because in my experience, unless you're going to do it during the day and night, which means you don't have any other income, then yeah, you probably could make bank doing lunchtime and dinner. Oh, excuse me. Morning, dinner and lunch. I have a day job as well as studying. So adding Uber Eats and that, I can only do that at night. But the money for me in my area is, and then running around kids. So basically, if you want to earn more than $300 a week, don't have a social life and kiss your weekend nights goodbye as well. But it also depends on your area. So Adelaide, Melbourne, Sydney, they might be busy 24/7. I don't know. I don't work in those areas. Just like retail stores, delivery apps had their high and their low periods. For the low, I have found just after Christmas is a low. Around back to school time is as well, because a lot of parents are spending money on getting their kids ready for school, and trust me, that shit's expensive. Do not show up to a store with an attitude problem. As somebody who works in fast food, I can tell you now, we have our favourite delivery drivers. If Freddie walks in with an attitude problem and then 10 minutes later, Michael, one of our favourite delivery drivers who's always nice and cool, I'm going to make Michael's before I make Freddie's, because Michael's a good guy. He's nice, he's patient, and he doesn't abuse us or get shitty with us. Freddie, on the other hand, he can get fucked and wait as long as we make him wait. Bring your hot cells in with you, or if you are asked to bring your hot cell in, don't crack a shit about it. Just do it. You're meant to be doing it anyway. I'm guilty of it. I'll walk into stores without taking my hot cell in, but do you know what? If they turn around and go, oh, can you go grab your hot cell? I'm like, yeah, no worries. Not a problem. I've got one store there that doesn't, well, yes, they ask every other driver. They don't ask me because they know I've got a huge ass hot cell, especially when they're packed. More so when they're packed, they'll go, oh, Catherine, don't worry about bringing in your hot cell. So yeah, just don't be rude. Be patient. You got to remember with Macca's, Hungry Jack's, KFC, a lot of the kids that work there are just that, kids. They're somebody's daughter, somebody's son. You want to be mad at anyone? Be mad at the adult that's there, which is the manager. And half the time, they're not fucking adults either. They're kids themselves. So ring corporate is my advice. You got issues, ring corporate. Simply because they're kids. And they're not going to work as fast as what anyone else works. But yeah, so that's today's podcast. Join me next week. I do not know what topic I'm going to cover. If you have ideas, pop it in the comments. And again, this is not legal advice, accounting advice. This is just from my personal experience on how I made things easier.